This is Superyacht News, in association with Go Earth Boating, navigating boat buyers to better deals. Hi, welcome back to the channel. So, a yacht in London, in Canary Wharf in London, was targeted by people who call themselves Campaign Group Climate Resistance. That's what they call themselves. And they attacked this vessel, but fortunately not with paint like other people have done in the past with other vessels. They attacked it with lights, in actual fact, broadcasting the names of things onto the side of the vessel that they believe that the person is who owns it. As you can see in the photographs here, the yacht is actually owned by a former Conservative in the UK, former Conservative donor. His name is Ivan Laidlow. The yacht is a 68-metre yacht, or 230 foot, built by Fedship in 2010. And the yacht was actually just moored in Canary Wharf, right behind where Fee is, actually, right in the berth, right behind where Fee has been for over 3 years now. And they broadcast these lights onto the side of the vessel. One of them said wealth tax, one said seize me with a winking eye, one said abolish billionaires, and the other said tax dodger. Luckily, there was no, obviously this doesn't cause any damage like others have done in the past, and they've all been arrested. Thankfully, that seems to have ceased now. The reality is, calling him, asking for wealth taxes, that's a legitimate thing that should happen, that wealthy people, maybe they should pay more tax than they do. The other phrases, abolish billionaires, well, how do you do that? How do you police how much money someone earns? Someone like Jeff Bezos or, Elon Musk or Bill Gates or, all of these people who've been amazingly created things. Well, maybe not Jeff Bezos, because he just has a very successful online shop, effectively, right? But the others, incredible things that have changed our life, especially Bill Gates. How do you police them, and how do you say that you can't earn any more money without, causing an effect on progress, because people are motivated by money, right, to build new things. So to abolish billionaires, that means you'd have to have some system in place controlled by somebody that tells people that they're not allowed to earn any more money. I just don't see how that would work. And calling him a tax dodger, if he's paying the amount of tax he's supposed to pay based on how much money he earns and the way he earns it, then maybe he's a tax evader, but a tax dodger is actually a criminal offence. A tax evasion is not. So I think, saying that it should be seized, I mean, there's no reason for that vessel to be seized, right? Other than they don't like the fact that he's got a lot of money. I'm sure there are ways that they can change the systems to sort of make it a more level playing field for others. But you've got to be careful saying that there should be some sort of police force that polices how much money you're allowed to earn, right? So I'm definitely not in agreement with that. Anyway, the vessel's still in London, actually. It's still there in Canary Wharf as of today. So we'll move on. In the previous episode of Superyacht News, we told you that Wingman had been renamed to Calm, spelled Kalm. But there's some more information that came through. Now, like I said, we told you about this name change. There was U81 was name changed to Wingman, and Wingman, the old Wingman, which was formerly called Motor Yacht Dapple, used to belong to Gabe Newell. He sold it to Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg's yacht changed to the name Calm, right? What we didn't tell you in the last one is the vessel's actually changed hands. There's no longer Mark Zuckerberg's support vessel. Is actually been bought by Nancy Walton Laurie, or the company that owns her yachts. So, Nancy Walton Laurie owns Motor Yacht Chaos, massive yacht, 111 meters, which 360 feet. I don't know why they needed a support vessel, but you give up trying to figure these things out a long time ago. But that yacht has changed hands. It changed hands in La Ciotat. The crew, interestingly, normally when a yacht changes hands, the crew just stay on the yacht and it goes to the new people. But the crew actually left the smaller wingman and went over to the new U81 and took custody of that vessel and sailed that one away. And then Calm, as it's been renamed, when it left the port, obviously you do these, when you change the name of a vessel, it has to happen in international waters. So once they left, the name changed, and it's headed probably to join Moti or Chaos, I would imagine. So that vessel is no longer owned by Mark Zuckerberg, but he now has the bigger support vessel, the former U81. So that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, like I said, Chaos, massive yacht, 111 meters, 4,500 gross tons. It can carry 31 guests in 16 cabins. That's almost the limit of a super yacht. 36 is the maximum for a super yacht before it goes into the next class of vessel. And it has a 46 crew. So now they've got this support vessel as well. So, I mean, it has a helicopter landing pad on Chaos. It has all kinds of stuff. So, not quite sure why they need it, but, I don't know. Anybody needs a support vessel. But traditionally, support vessels were bought by people who had smaller main yachts, and then they outgrew that main yacht, so they bought a support vessel, right? And then they put all the extra stuff on that vessel, like maybe they want a helicopter, and then they don't have a helicopter landing pad. But now it seems to be becoming very popular, even with people who have very large yachts, and they're having support vessels as well. So that's interesting. All right, we'll move on. Now, still no sign of Moti Amadea. She left San Diego 7 days and 11 hours ago, I think it was, and went out to anchor, went out to the San Diego anchorage, and then poof, disappeared. The vessel was last seen at anchor. It still shows, if you look on marine traffic right now, it still shows as being at anchor. The vessel is definitely not in San Diego. We had people send us some video footage of the area of the anchorage, and the vessel is not there. So yes, we still don't know where she's gone. We've got some ideas, but we had some information come in. Now, we asked in the last episode, I said, could the person who sent it get in touch? They never did. So we can't independently verify this information, but they told us that the vessel needed roughly $20 million in repairs, and it had a stabilizer that was not functioning correctly. Now, a vessel of Amadea's size probably has 4 stabilizers, 2 on each side, 2 forward and 2 aft. So if it's got one not working, it can still sail, but it could, cause some not stability issue, but it could, be not as flat in the water as it might be, but it can still sail under those circumstances. So what we did is, anyway, we looked at the vessel's cruising speed of 13 knots, and then we worked out an arc of where the vessel could have gone at that speed and at the 7 days and 11 hours, whatever it is. And it would have travelled, assuming that it is travelling somewhere other than somewhere in the US, then it might have already arrived somewhere and it's in a shipyard somewhere that we don't know about. But we think it's probably, based on that information, if that information is correct, it's probably heading to a shipyard somewhere. But assuming it's left the US, which I assume it has done because the way it went dark, it will have done approximately 2,366 nautical miles by now. Which takes it out to, so you get down to Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. So if it's heading south towards Panama Canal from San Diego is about 2,600 nautical miles. So if it's heading to Panama, it won't get there just yet. It could be in Hawaii by now. There's about 2,200 miles from the mainland San Diego, mainland US. It could have gone to Ketchikan in Alaska. It's unlikely, but so that's the radius of where it could be now. So sort of Hawaii and then Mexico heading down towards Panama. I think there's either 2 places it's going. It's either heading across the Pacific to go through the Malacca Straits to Dubai, if it's heading that way, or it's going through Panama Canal to go to the same place, right? Because it's kind of one of those places. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If it's going to a shipyard, which based on that information, it could be going to Dubai to go into a shipyard, right? It could be going to Germany. Lursen would probably like to, do the refit on that vessel because they built it. But from what I understand also is Lursen is booked up, and that the first opening they have for that vessel would have been in January. So, I mean, that's not impossible, right? They could go somewhere, lay up, and then go to Germany. But obviously these lawyers are going to probably be searching for the yacht as well. So But yeah, anyway, that's basically where the vessel could be. And I think, like I said, Panama or heading across the Pacific. Probably won't stop at Fiji. All right, we'll move on. I've been sick for the last couple of days, so I've got a little bit of a cough, so excuse me for that. Motor Yacht Nord is back on AIS. The yacht it was at anchor in Malé, which is the main island for the Maldives. The yacht arrived in the Maldives a few weeks ago, and we tracked it over there, and then they switched off AIS while they sailed around the Maldives. And now they're back in Malé, at anchor there. Now, what's probably happening here, obviously, if you didn't see it, somebody involved with that yacht most likely sent us a letter saying that people were throwing eggs at the yacht. And anyway, the most likely scenario based on the movements is what's happening is, based on my own experience as well, the vessel sails across the Indian Ocean, arrives in Malé, the owner flies in on his private plane, lands in Malé, gets on the yacht, they switch off AIS so they can sail around incognito, and then they return back to Malé, owner gets off, flies off in his private yacht, in his private plane to wherever he's going, and then the yacht they're probably having a bit of downtime right now because they're laid up in Malé. This is all guesswork based on my own experience in the industry, but the fact that they switched off AIS when they arrived in Malé and then they switched it back in Malé suggests to me, to somebody who hasn't been watching the whole time, would suggest that they never moved from Malé once they arrived there, right? But we know that they did. So they probably leave at some point, and head back across the Indian Ocean. Now, we did actually get an email from somebody, or a message from somebody that said that the yacht had been blocking their view. He said that the yacht had been blocking his view of the sunset all week at a hotel in one of the islands. So there's another reason why someone might want to throw eggs at the yacht. But yeah, so that's most likely what's happening there with that vessel. At least he's got the AIS back on, right? So we got one more story. This is from the Bahamas, actually. Bahamas is looking at a bleak winter in terms of boats and yachts going to Bahamas. There's been a lot of talk about this online recently. Apparently, in July this year, the entire system for entering the Bahamas in a yacht or a boat was reformed, and the prices went up 2 to 3 times of what they previously were. Just without telling anybody, nobody had any advance notice of this. For example, vessels 30 meters or 100 foot would have to pay $3,000 cruising fees. The old price was just $350, as well as new mandatory anchoring fee of $300. There was also additional fishing permit for $100, which was previously included, and the fee change came without consultation with boaters and without warning. So this is a lot of smaller boats go down to the Bahamas as well for the winter. The Association of the Bahamas Marinas, or ABM, have a booth at the Florida Yacht Show every year, and this year the people who work at the booth said that everybody was giving them really negative feedback and unfavorable reviews, which is probably the nice version, right? There's a lot of the bigger yachts that go to the Bahamas said that they're not going anymore. This is a quote from someone who was working on that booth. He said a lot of the bigger yachts that we went to spend a winter in the Bahamas said they're just not going to come, and they'll go to the Caribbean islands. And we had similar smaller boats telling us they're going to go to the Florida Keys. The Bahamas is not worth it anymore. There's too many regulations, I guess, and with all the fees, people feel like they're getting ripped off. So this is what the consensus seems to be. Some of the marinas in the Bahamas said they don't have any bookings for the winter because of all of these price hikes and changes. Now, one of the things they do have, which apparently is not being set up properly, they've got something they call an FDCC, Frequent Digital Cruising Card, which offers frequent boating visitors unlimited visits for a period not exceeding 2 years upon payment of an upfront fee from between $1,500 and $8,000, depending on the size of the vessel. So if you're a regular visitor to the Bahamas, you might want to look at this FDCC. Now, unfortunately, when we wrote this, the website still doesn't have the documents on the website to be able to download them to fill out this form, which is obviously causing delays. But that is something, you know, obviously if you don't know about that, you might be thinking that every time you go, you have to pay all of these fees. But this is sort of a 2-year license, if you like, digital cruising card, they call it. So if you're interested in going to the Bahamas, you might want to check that out. Didn't pay me to say that. I'm just saying that because I've spent a lot of time in the Bahamas on yachts over the years as well. And you have to remember all the people that are involved in these marinas. It's not just the boat going into the marina, and it's not just the marina. It's all the shops that are there, all the restaurants, all the people all the chandlers, the provisions, the people that sell provisions to the yachts, fuel. Everybody there's a whole industry that is working around those yachts being there. And if the yachts don't come in, some of these people will go out of business. So it's definitely an important thing, right, for all of these places. Who changed all of these things without any consultation or without any, querying anybody to see what they thought about these price changes? But they can fix this, but they need to fix it quickly. Otherwise, they're going to really suffer. So, okay, we'll move on. It's Friday, so we've got a Friday yacht spot. First yacht on the list here is Motor Yacht Kismet. This is in Las Palmas. It's taken by Adrian Crook. Is obviously Kismet. We've done a lot of featured over the months here. 122 meter yacht or 400 foot yacht, owned by Shahid Khan, who is Pakistani American billionaire and owns the one of the NFL teams, first Muslim to own an NFL team in the US. And we've got another photo of the same yacht in Nice by somebody who just labeled it Anne. So her name is Anne. Next on the list here, we've got Motor Yacht Breakthrough. This is obviously Patrick DeVici's new yacht. It was built for Bill Gates, but he decided to sell before he took delivery. This is also by Adrian Crook as well. So he's getting around. He said he was in Barcelona Pier, and he got photos of Breakthrough and a crew on the morning of October 24th. He also said that last year he was on holiday and he saw Apo, which is Patrick DeVici's old yacht as well. So he took photographs of that as well last year. So next on the list here, we've got Motor Yacht Artifact. This is owned by the chap who invented the BlackBerry. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, that's his yacht there. That's in St. Martin, and it was sent in by Angel Rivera. That's a nice name, Angel Rivera. And now we've got a stunning photograph here of Motor Yacht Chaos. We were just talking about Chaos earlier on, but this is in Malaga. It wishes to remain anonymous, but that is a cracking photo. Obviously, Chaos, 111 meter, 360 foot, owned by Nancy Walton-Laurie, as we said earlier. And then last on the list here, we've got Motor Yacht A. This is sent in by Brinkman Andreas. He was obviously in a hotel there, and he's got some video footage and some photographs of Motor Yacht A, 119 meter yacht or 390 foot. Yeah, this is built by Blohm & Voss in Germany before it became part of Lürsen, and owned by Andrei Melnichenko. So this has been out in Dubai pretty much ever since 2022. It's actually been sailing around Malaysia recently, but now it's back in Dubai laid up. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Well, one more thing, actually. On Sunday, we've got a video coming out. It's called Superyacht Scams. It's something that's becoming a big problem in the superyacht industry. So if you want to check that out, it'll be coming out on Sunday. I think it's coming out at around about 1 o'clock, 1:30 on Sunday local time, UTC. So look out for that. I'm very excited. We put a lot of work into this video, so I hope you will enjoy that video on Sunday. If you've got any information for us, you can send it to us at the email address here. If you've got photos or videos, please send it to the WeTransfer address. Please don't email photos to us, because it's easier to send it through WeTransfer. Somebody there to sort it all out and put it into folders for us and everything. If you want to join us on Patreon, patreon.com/gsysman. The video that I've just mentioned that's coming out on Sunday, it's been on there for a week now. We get early releases, advert free, of course, and you also get to see the patron chat series, which is me talking about all the things that are going on in the industry in a more informal way. And there's lots of other behind-the-scenes stuff when we travel, which we will be traveling in the next month or so. And we do lots of videos, behind-the-scenes stuff and extra stuff that you don't get on the main channel. So if you want to do that, patreon.com/eSysman. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. Have a great weekend wherever you are. If you're on a yacht, please be sure to send some photographs in. In actual fact, somebody sent some photographs from the bow of his vessel. I'll put them on screen now. So if you're on a boat this weekend and you're going somewhere, or you're hanging out somewhere in a marina somewhere, or somewhere sunny, send them to us and make us all jealous. And we'll put them here at the end next week, maybe. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.